What's up? It's Olivia. Welcome back to another Bachelor episode recap / review. This is the stuff that I absolutely live for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more Bachelor recaps. So first I want to talk about the one-on-one dates, and then we'll talk about the drama that has happened. But I think the main theme of this episode, as well as this season, honestly, is the producers are screwing Peter over. They don't care about him, they're just setting him up. So the date with Victoria F. First I want to address the jump hug. Can anyone tell me if you've ever had a relationship in your life where every time you saw the person, you jumped into their arms for a hug? Is that normal for other people, or is this a Bachelor thing? Anyway, this is the first week that I've noticed it, but it's something that every season I'm like, do people really greet each other that way? Just jump on them every single time they see them? Next, oh my god, okay, so I'm glad they had a good time on the date. Going on roller coasters is actually a really good way to get someone to like you. There's this concept in psychology called misattribution of arousal, which basically says that sometimes when we are physiologically aroused, we have our heart beating fast, our palms sweating. Maybe it's because we're nervous, we like someone, or maybe it's because we are riding a roller coaster and it is terrifying and getting our adrenaline going. Later on, our brain just kind of confuses the experiences together and goes, oh, I must have had that physiological reaction because I really like her. It's something we do subconsciously, so you don't notice it, but roller coaster dates, horror movie dates, really good way to get someone to like you. Aside from that, I'm glad they had a good time. I'm glad they're on the same page for kids. I thought it was really cute when Peter was like, yeah, if you have 3 kids, then one has to sit alone. Oh my god, you're thinking about that? That's so sweet. So anyway, I'm glad they had a really good time on the date. But now, let's talk about Chase Rice. That was so cringy. I felt so bad for Victoria, and afterwards you could tell when she was telling Peter about it, she just didn't want to ruin his good time and his experience because she knows how much he loves country music. What was interesting is the song that he played is from an album that got released January 24th, so earlier this week. So it's really funny the fact that she knew the words, and he's like, oh, you know the words to this unreleased song that's not being released for 3 more months? And she knew word for word. I'm not sure if on The Bachelor they showed him singing this specific verse to that song. The song is called Lonely If You Are, and when I was listening to it, I noticed it right away. There's a verse that says, if it's Monday and it's over, you know the show your girls all come over for, and the red wine's getting lower and your last friend's out the door, when there's no more roses to go around, hit me up girl, you know I'm down. So, he literally references The Bachelor in the song, and oh my god, then when Peter was like, maybe Chase Rice will be singing at our wedding. How can, I don't understand how as a producer you don't have moral conflict from setting this boy up in this way. Anyway, I'm glad it ended on a high note and he's totally fine with it. But yeah, that was just cringy and awkward, and then right when Peter kissed her is when Chase Rice kind of finished and looked away, and oh, weird situation. Why would you put anybody in that situation? Kelsey's one-on-one, I literally have 0 comments about it. Okay, now let's talk about the Alayah drama. Alayah, still don't know her name, still don't feel the need to get it accurate. But Alayah coming back. What was really weird to me, there were lots of girls saying, yeah, she's kind of fake. She acts this way around us, then she's on camera or around you and she brightens up and her voice changes, and I would never do that. It was lots of girls. It wasn't just Victoria. And what was really weird to me was Victoria's main thing was she told me to lie to the producers that we don't know each other. And Alayah fessed up to that and said, yeah, I did tell her that because I didn't want producers knowing. Do you really think producers don't know, by the way? You don't think there's someone checking all your social media to see who you follow, who you could have been connected with? You both competed for Miss USA, for goodness sakes, you know each other. But anyway, she admitted to that. So I thought that was the issue there. That, okay, all these girls think you're fake, and then you asked another girl to lie. I thought that was the issue. But then when she came back, the issue was that Victoria lied about how well she really knew Alayah. Which again, just so weird to me how they changed the focus from one thing to a completely different thing that does this really matter? I don't know. But I, saw on social media some pictures from their Vegas trip, and there were like 5, 6, 7 girls in the group. So it's not like they're besties and we're like, hey, you and I should plan a Vegas trip together. To me, and like, I don't know the full story, but I think it's reasonable to be like, yeah, I'm not really good friends with her, but yeah, we went on this trip together because either Miss USA contestants were in Las Vegas for the weekend. Oh, we have mutual friends, and so we all went together. Like, I don't know. Still think it's really, really weird that Victoria P lied, and honestly, like, I loved her last week, but on now knowing, like, oh, like, you did work the pageant circuit, like, you do know Alayah, why did you lie about that? That has me questioning her too, and it's not in like a, oh, I think pageant people are bad. No, it's just more so like, oh, I thought you were this normal girl who like had a terrible childhood, has lifted herself from that, is a nurse now, like doing amazing, kicking butt in life, and like you want to find love, but it's like, oh, you're also already in this world of like social media and I don't know, the glitz and glamour of it all, I guess. I did not think it was okay for Alayah to I just thought it was so weird how she goes up to the other plastics, Hannah and McKenna, and says, you have to fill me in on everything, I don't know what's been happening. Oh, well, Kelsey had a date this week, or Kelsey has the one-on-one tomorrow. Oh, I know that, and I know that Victoria F when they went to a Chase Rice concert at Cedarwood Amusement Park, and oh, they used to date, and da-da-da. Like, just starts rattling off all of these details, so you do know what's happening. Then, oh, wait, she dated Chase Rice? What? Oh, you guys didn't know about that? Yeah, it's all over the internet. Like, I just feel like it's such a Mean Girls move. Like, on the one hand, yes, I can understand, oh my gosh, I didn't realize she didn't tell anybody that. Like, oh, please, like, don't tell her I said anything. Please keep this under wraps. Like, I didn't realize. But it was more of like a, oh, you didn't know? I also thought it was wonderful how the girls were clapping back at Peter and being like, this is not okay. I'm disappointed in you. This girl brings drama to the house. The rest of us can live peacefully with one another. But when she's here, all of our conversations are about her because you, Peter, are asking about her and not asking about me and wanting to actually get to know me. Tasha made a good point, and I wrote it down. She said, him bringing her back makes me question whether or not he knows what he actually wants. And I think this is a big thing about The Bachelor. Like, they have no lives other than thinking about this competition. So of course, comparison is inevitable. And honestly, it is really hard if your personality is a 180 from someone else. It's like, okay, does he know what he wants? What does he see in her? What does he actually see in me? Because if he has equally strong feelings for both of us, like, what the heck is he actually looking for? What does he want in a wife? I do think at this point in the Bachelor process, it is way too early to make those comparisons. Once you're at, like, I don't know, final 6, final 4, I think then it's like, okay, I don't know, easier to be like, if you like her, like, there's no way you also like me. But I think for now, it is too early to make those comparisons, but I do get where she's coming from and I see how she is making those comparisons. I thought it was really weird when he approached Victoria P and was like, why did you lie about this? And then instead of being upfront, like, she didn't try to explain herself at all. She instead just goes, I have been nothing but honest with you, Peter. Starts crying, I have been vulnerable. I have shown you parts of myself, da 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 da. Like, okay, great, but like, why can you not answer this question? What is your motivation behind it? Was it really just a mistake? Like, I forgot, my mind was frazzled at the time, you asked how we knew each other, and like, I completely forgot we took this trip? Or was she hiding that she took the trip and hiding that she is friends with Alayah so that she wasn't associated with drama? Or is there another reason? I don't know, I thought that was really, really weird. I also just thought it was really interesting, like, the power dynamics in that conversation. Victoria seemed the one that was very much in charge and the one that, like, he needs to work to be with her and she's the one who's deciding if they date or not, deciding if he is worthy to date her. So it's just really interesting because, you know, usually on the show it's expected that the women love, or the men love, the bachelor, the bachelorette, whoever's in charge, and the dude or woman gets to decide who they want to keep, take their time with it, but the contestants are expected to already like love them and want to be with them and appreciate everything about them, and they don't have that freedom to make the decision. So it was really interesting the shift in the power dynamics this week, where it was more so the women, but especially Victoria. My kind of overall thoughts about Peter and the situation with Alayah is, once again, do you want to marry someone who nobody else can get along with? Even if her intention is, I have a big personality and other girls just hate me for some weird reason. Really? You think there's no reason? Even so, even if her intentions are like, oh, it's just my personality, if that personality can't get along with other people and can't learn how to cooperate and like work out, do you want to marry that person? Again, even if their intentions are not to drive people crazy or to be fake or whatever, and that's just who they are, do you want that in your life? You want someone whose truest self really cannot get along with other people? I don't get it. My prediction is that he'll send her home, but we'll see. And then also I just want to be like, Peter, like, okay, you feel this connection. Is it just a physical attraction? Or do you think she could potentially be your wife, especially compared to these other women that you do have such strong connections with? I also think we're getting to that part of the season where it's going to be very apparent that there's this divide of people who have really strong relationships with Peter, practically saying, I love you or I'm falling in love with you, versus people who maybe even haven't kissed him yet, which I don't know if that's possible with Peter. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. Let me know who your top picks are. I still love Madison. I think he really likes Victoria F and Victoria P. I still feel like Hannah Ann's gonna go far. Kelly, did I say her yet? I don't remember. Kelly, I think she's gonna go pretty far as well. Yeah, that's who I'm kind of counting right now in the end. But we will see. Interesting season, so much drama, and poor Peter, because the producers really don't care about him. They care about creating drama and turmoil. I hope mentally he's doing all right, because that's a lot to handle. Anyway, tell me what your thoughts are down below. I will see you guys next week with another episode. Bye!